Wow, that was quick. I went to the YouTube stream now. Those that know me, okay, you're probably asking, why is he outside? Why is he doing this? It's supposed to be the H&M show. You're right. And those of you that know me too know I don't like camping. No, I don't like to go outside. I'm going to give some people, before I get going, I'm going to give some people a chance to come on. And meanwhile, so this is like my prelude to what's going on. I don't know if this actually builds an event, though. I need to go check that out. Let me go check right now so I can see if this creates a live event. Because if it does, yeah, look at there. It does. So I can go here, click that, I think. Yeah, and it gives me a watch. Yeah. See, I don't want, okay, look. I don't need that happening. Hey, I see somebody's here. I see two people are out there. I'm going to put a post out there. Live shooting from the hip. And we're going to do this. Post it. I'm going to actually go out to my home screen as well. Put a post out there. All right. I'm going to put the, not what I wanted. To change it to public. I know it's boring right now. I get it. I'm boring. I get it. I just wanted to show people that I was doing a live thing. Okay, those community members, I'm sure there's communities. Hi, what's up? Well, good. It's Lowell, Ann, and Andrew. Hello, gang. How are you? Those that, I guess I ought to spell it right, but that wouldn't be me if I spelled it right. Here's the deal, folks. My internet is out. So I had to use a hotspot for tonight's show. You know, this is the kind of thing that you have to just kind of wing it sometimes. You got something planned. It's ready to go. It's ready to rock and roll. And, okay, you know, what do I do now? And I noticed about an hour ago or 2 hours ago that, oh my goodness, my internet's out. So I had to do something. So what I did was, as I said, I'm just going to go live using my hotspot on my phone. Now, I have my phone and I have a battery pack for it, okay? So that's what I'm using for my hotspot because I need to keep it charged, make sure it's going to stay charged up. This battery pack, I tell you, I love this thing. It gives me an LED of how much power is left on it. You can see I've used this already all day, and I'm only down to 3. There's 4 little squares that light up on there. I don't know if you can see that real well, but I'm going to try and put it there so you can. That's really, I mean, that's awesome. This thing is so good. This is the best one that I've ever had as far as charging and keeping the charge of different things. And it's really kind of easy to use too. So I don't know. I love it. I think it's awesome. It works really well. This one, one of our community members, actually Mark Barris got me that. And I'm going to tell you, I love the thing. I use it all the time. It works really well. And it's just, it has 3, let me see if I can show you that end of it. It has 3 USB outputs. And then here's where it charges right here. Let's see. Hi, everyone. I see Tom got here. Ross got here. Andrew, Miss Drasby. Hey, says lots of buffering. I'm on a public network right now. Well, you know what? It probably doesn't help that I'm on hotspot and you're on with a lot of buffering. So, yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't help it today. I'm outside, like I said, because my internet is out. So I just wanted to come on, make sure that I did some kind of show tonight. and talk about a couple things that I have, asking you questions. You guys ask me questions. Yeah, I agree with that, Ross. Ross says we're lucky to have the technology we do have anyways, which is so true. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's my backyard here. Yeah, Tom, I tell you, this battery, I live by this battery. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It just works so well for what you need. I mean, and Miss Strasby says, oh, I'm outside as well. I'm going to show you a little bit of my backyard. You can kind of see I got trees all up and down the creek. There's a couple houses there, but all down, there's a creek all back down there. So that's what I get to look at in my backyard every day. Now, I probably caused this thing to go crazy and some more buffering and that kind of thing. I apologize if that's the case. I'm trying to angle it out of the sun so you don't get that sun glare as well. Hey, this is the only way I could get internet. So, and me and not having internet, I started shaking and getting nervous and everything else. I'm just kidding. It is kind of weird when you don't have cable. You don't have cable TV. You don't have your internet. You don't have it because all that's combined for me. So let's see here. What else we have? What brand battery backup? Oh, good question. I said that earlier. It's called an Insignia. And I think it's written on there too. I don't know if you can see that. Insignia. I can get the model number and get it to you, but it's fantastic. I took it with me when I went to California with Google with the top contributors, and it worked fantastically. Any alligators in the creek? No, Andrew, no alligators. Thank God, because that would not be fun. I think that's a little in the lower states like Louisiana and Florida. Oh, that was Tom that said that. Was that Tom that said that? I'm sorry, Tom. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So, but let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about something that you guys, if you guys have anything you want to talk about or things that are happening in the news or things that you've heard. I know Google I/O just happened yesterday or the day before, whatever. What do you think of that? I mean, it wasn't, they didn't bring out a whole lot more of like new products and new things. But I just get curious on your opinion, what you think of some of that. I think they're definitely for sure focusing a lot on assistant, and that's really a big deal to them. And I think that's the wave of search is going, because if you think about it, everybody searches for everything. I mean, they use Google to search everything. So now if they can do that without actually touching a device or going to it, I think that's fascinating. I think that's an interesting approach. It's really, the drive of these guys to push this to make it. I don't know if I like personally the intelligence part, like making it a true conversation. I'm fine with looking when I go to search something right now in Google, I don't expect to have a conversation going back and forth. Whereas they are really wanting to go that way. Artificial intelligence kind of scares me a little bit, only in the fact that for that reason, just because, you start thinking of, like, everybody always talks about sci-fi and all this stuff and all these things that are going, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Andrew says there are already 52 videos on the IO playlist. Yeah, I don't doubt that. That's good though. That's a big thing. Lolan says, do I know if G Suite people will get the new Gmail? No, I don't know that. That's a good one. That's a great question to bring up to everybody else. Is everyone else using the new Gmail? And if you are, do you like it? What do you like about it? And what don't you like about it? My personal experience, I don't like the interface so much in the type. I like the cleaner type that I had before. To me, it was a little bit clearer. I don't like that they push your attachments, like your PDFs and your photos, below the actual Gmail that you get. I guess I could get used to that. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to, but I don't necessarily like that. I do like the little added things to the right. Like I believe you can delete it, you can move it, and something else. I can't remember. Archive it maybe. I like that. But the Gmail, what I will say that I do love, I absolutely love having Keep right there next to me, or what is it? They have calendar right there, so I can drop things back and forth from the calendar to the email to the calendar. Love that. That is so awesome. And task. I'm going to learn how to do task, because I have heard that working with task and moving everything and pushing things to task is a cool thing and a great way to use it. So I'm going to have to see on that. The other thing that I just love, and I haven't used it too much, is snooze. I love it. If this is an email that I don't necessarily want to get to right now, but I know I can get to it in a couple hours, I can snooze it. And it comes right back as a new email in 2 hours. That is fantastic. What a great thing that is for me. It's wonderful because I get a chance to keep it out of my head and not have to worry about ever losing it. That's what I like about it. So I kind of like that one. I'd love to get other people's opinions of what they think and what they thought. Mrs. Drasby, let's see. Hold on. Andrew says first, he says, I am with you. I don't like the font change, but like the calendar, etc. icons. Good, Andrew. Miss Drasby says yay, and she agrees. I'm not sure what you're saying, yay, and you agree maybe with all the stuff that I said. I don't know. Lowell Ann, yes, having Keep, etc. on the side is what I would like, but don't have new version yet. I don't know if G Suite's going to get it or not. It's so weird how they push some things to G Suite and features, and then they don't have it for regular Gmail. And then in Gmail, they'll have some features, and then they won't have it in G Suite. I mean, it's just back and forth. And I don't totally know the reason why. I mean, I would think some of it is a business reason, maybe. Oh, here come the bugs. Anybody that knows me knows I can't stand camping and bugs and stuff like that. So I might make my way inside. If I do, you can just laugh at me. But Mrs. Drasby, she says, with addition of Keep, yes, absolutely. I use Keep almost religiously. I really do. One of the biggest reasons why I really enjoy, first of all, Gmail, but Keep as well, is the searchability. There's other things. I know there's never used them personally. I think it's Evernote and some of those other note-taking. I know there's one that's called To-Do List. But the searchability of Keep is just phenomenal. I can keep a note and then lose it way down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it? I can just say one of the words, and it'll highlight anything. It'll bring up anything that has that word in it, or just a part of it. Or if I can remember a phone number or something like that, or I can't remember a phone number, but I remember the company. Gosh, I just love Keep. Anyway, Andrew says, G Suite and the consumer products seem to grow more and more apart. Yeah, I agree with you. But what I do like is that G Suite will bring something on, and eventually it'll come to the consumer side, which is kind of cool. So it's almost like a testing ground, and it's mostly business functions and features. I don't know. That's a good point and a good question. Ross, I won't be using the G Suite. I like most of Google stuff above other anything. Yeah. And Andrew says my audio is outstanding. That's crazy because this is coming from my Pixel book. So I wasn't expecting the sound to be that great, but I didn't know either. And I'm outside, and I'm probably about 3 feet from where the mic is. This Pixel book is incredible, and I love this little doohickey flickby flop. It's a pen for the Pixel. for writing, drawing. I use it as a mouse because I can flip this whole thing over into a tablet form, and I can use this to tap on the screen. It is so nice. This is awesome. It really is. I work in a lot of times when I'm at night watching a late show or something, I can put this up like a tent. I can set it up like a tent because it flips all the way around like a tablet, but I can flip it like a tent so it'll stand up and I can work on it. Oh my gosh. I really, really love that. It's so good. Yeah, I'm really shocked and surprised because coming from a hotspot, not on Wi-Fi, and having the signal that I have and everything else, I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm glad it's that good. Look, when I started this, I just have to tell y'all too, with this battery pack that I was talking about earlier, the Insignia battery pack that I have this hooked up. Look, it's still on 3, right? I think it is. Let me make sure that wire's in the way. Yeah, it's still got the three squares, and this thing's already up to 44, and I started at like 13. So it charges really fast too. That's the other thing I really like about it too. A lot of cool stuff. I didn't know what I was going to do tonight without having internet. So I went to the YouTube side. You know that you can go to YouTube and you can turn your camera. There's one, I think the icon says camera live or something like that. I click on it, name this event, started it, boom. And there you go. Crazy. Hey, thank you for the thumbs up. Whoever that was that gave me a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. This is cool. I can see all this right on screen when I do this live stream this way. I might have to do this again sometime. This is really kind of cool. All right, let's see. Andrews. Oh, technically speaking, hey guys. I'm not sure if that's Greg or Peachy, but probably Peachy. The audio really is outstanding. That's amazing. Oh, cool. I'm glad. Andrew, writing instruments that cost over $25 are not called doohickeys. Valid point. Point taken and valid point. I will say that it's not a doohickey then. It's a thingamabob. How's that? You do have to get more fancy when you go into thingamabobs, I guess. This is kind of a cool and different way of doing the show. The only thing is about doing it this way, I don't get all the fancy stuff like OBS gives, and I don't have a guest. So I don't have those kind of things. So let's see. Ross says, even way over here, I can hear you like I'm sitting with you near that creek. Cool. And then Doover, she says, LOL. Yeah, I mean, this is really awesome. I kind of like this. Let's see what Lowland says. Wonder where those two phrases originate. I have no idea. No clue. No idea. Back to Tech Talk. Give me some things of what you think. Like I said, we were talking about I/O a little bit. Some stuff that's been coming up, and they're talking about mostly with. I see the biggest thing is with Assistant. Give me your opinion of Lens. How many people out there use Google Lens? Do you have it on your Android phone? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Android phone is the only one that has Google Lens. I have used it, have not had great experience with it because I'll take a picture of a sign, a street sign, trying to get an address or something like that, or see if it'll give me more information on that company. And it'll say, I see a road, or I see a building, instead of giving me the results I want. So I've tested it and used it a little bit and tried to figure out some of the stuff, but to me, it was so green. I love the idea if it'll do some of the things that they were talking about during the I/O this yesterday or whatever. So let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. No, not yet. Tom says, no, not yet. He hasn't used it. Not even sure what Google Lens is, so I haven't used it. That's Ross. Ross, what it is when you go to if you go into a Google Assistant, like if I do on my Pixel, I don't know if you can see this. No, you're not going to be able to see it. Down in the bottom right corner, I can see a lens. It's a little square with a dot. Okay, so you're not going to be able to see this probably. So, and I'm sorry about that, but I can hit lens, and what it does is it opens my camera, and I can tap on what I'm interested in. So if I tap on those trees or a flower, it'll tell me what that flower is and give me more details on it. Or if I'm going to a building or a business card, I can do it with a business card, and I can do those kind of things. And it'll give you an option to put it to your contacts. It'll give you all kinds of stuff. So that's what Lens is. It's also done on your Google Photos. Google Photos has Lens as well, which is pretty awesome because you can take an existing photo that you have and punch it in, and it'll try and tell you that way. So that's what Google Lens is. But they really talked about expanding that and really making it live. So when you actually have your camera open and you're moving around, it actually takes you and shows you the building and the name of that building and that kind of stuff. So that's what that is. No idea what Google Lens is. Please explain. So Lolan, that's what I just did. Hopefully that explains it a little bit better to you. There are so many things that Google has developed. That is true. Not quite seeing it. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't be able to. Maybe we could do in the community, maybe we can do a workshop, and I'll go over it and show you some of the things you can do. Good explanation though. Thank you. I have not had success with Lens as well. Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, it just has not been successful while using it for me. Mrs. Drasby says, and that's been my experience. So hopefully, if they focus on that and get it better, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of neat to be able to do that. I know that you can, if you're just moving your camera around and you see a movie theater and it has a list of the movies, it'll show you the previewing, it'll show you tickets, things like that you can do. It's kind of cool. And let's see, I've been taking photos of photos in my mom's album. Oh, good. You've been doing that? Great. Fantastic. Yeah, exactly. So she says, so it will identify birds and frogs. Yes, it should. It's supposed to. It's supposed to do all that kind of stuff. And what I like too is if it doesn't work, you can send feedback immediately and say, this is what I was trying to get a picture of. This is what I was trying to find out. So then it helps build that information too by leaving feedback. Stephen Daniels says, about time they make Google Lens legit. I agree with that. Did it used to be called Google Goggles? Great question. A lot of people ask that. I would say no, it was a different product, but yes, it's very, very similar and pretty close to being exactly what Google Goggles was. Yes. And yeah, I agree with you. I think it's important to make that one legit because to take something like take a picture of a business card, get all the information off of it, put it into your contacts automatically. Wow, that's just incredible and time saving. Ross says, getting to know what the Google Photos will do very shortly as I need to edit aspects. Yeah, Google Photos is so I'm loving. Snapseed. I think I talked about. Yeah, we talked about this when I had the Geeks on Tour folks, Chris and Jim were on. We talked about this last week with Google Photos and having Snapseed as part of it because Google bought Snapseed, and it's not part of it. It is part of it when you download it and add it. So it's really kind of cool to have that. Play around with it. It's really kind of neat. I don't see Lens on my Pixel. Okay, so let's see. And yes, you did talk about Snapseed. Very interesting timing. Yeah, I know. Snapseed is really great. Lolan says yes. All right, so Lens on your Pixel. If you hold, there's a button on your Pixel that's down at the bottom in the middle. If you hold that down, and then it's wanting to know, it's going to listen to me, whatever I have to say. And then down in the bottom right, there's a little square with a dot in the middle of it. That's Google Lens. If I open up Google Photos and I pick a photo, if I open up Google Photos and I choose a photo, there's a little square with the circle in it. That's what Google Lens is. it'll identify, it tries to pick anything in that picture, and it tries to tell you information about that. It's kind of cool. It really is kind of neat. Oh, good. Found it. Perfect. Good. Glad you found it. Yeah, I'm enjoying that too. I'm enjoying the different things. We're such a photo and video happy world nowadays. And that is what I think is really, with them focusing on that stuff. And really, we're kind of weird in that way, especially just society in general. At least I know in America. I'm not sure, Ross, if it's the same over in Australia, but it is the more social we get in verbal stuff, like using Google Home and using a Google Assistant with your voice and stuff like that. That's really kind of, I don't know. We seem to get into that. You know what I'm saying? We're getting, even if you look at newspapers, if you still look at newspapers, not a lot of people, they would rather have it read to them than actually read. I want to get your thoughts on that too, because we've come a long way that way. I know I do that, so I don't, in my car, I'm not sitting there trying to read an article or trying to read something. I have an app that'll read whatever I press and throw it in there. I can just throw it into this app, and it just reads it for me aloud. Actually, I think it's called Aloud or something like that, Add Aloud. So I'm curious whether anybody else does that too. Let's see. Not always the same here. Let's see. Found it too. Okay, so Ross found the Lens app as well. Not always the same here. Yeah, I got you. And Andrew says low end. Supposedly it will. And low end said could show a plant and Lens will tell me what it is. Yes, absolutely. That's the whole idea of what Lens is trying to do and work with and things like that. Particular products and then maybe like it might not only will it show you the plant, but it'll show you here's some places locally near you where you can buy that plant, or anything like that. It's really kind of cool. Or a building. Let's say you take a picture of a building when you visit Chicago or someplace, or those gardens you were telling me about that I need to go to when I go to Vancouver. Take a picture of those, that kind of thing. And then it gives you other information about that place and articles about it, etc. So that's what it's supposed to do. Now, I'm real curious. I'm going to check while I'm out here because I want to check. I see how hot my phone is. It's not hot. That's good. So the hotspot's working fine. I want to check my battery on my Pixel. I am still at 90% on my Pixel, and I've been broadcasting this whole time for 28 minutes now? That's just crazy awesome. Good stuff. I'm up to 50% on my phone. That's just awesome. So you can see the progress of that's kind of neat to see that. Let's get into I love reading and don't go so well with podcasts or audiobooks. Yeah. Well, good, Ross. That's good. I do love reading too because it helps me with words and spelling. And you see how well I am at that. I'm probably not the best reader either, but I think it is important. Miss Drasby says Lens would be wonderful once it is perfected for travel. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I'm looking forward to that kind of thing too, traveling and doing things like that and seeing different things. And when you do, being able to spot it and check it and find out what it is and give you a little history on it too. She says it is awesome having so much info at your fingertips. Yeah, absolutely. If you think about it, you've got, and what we used to have is called encyclopedias. Most kids don't even know what that is anymore. We had encyclopedias that this is just like having it at your fingertips at all times. Pretty awesome. Let's see. Lowland says, I just learned this about your cruise. If you leave from Seattle, you will come to Victoria. If you leave from Vancouver, you will not come to Victoria. Okay. All right. So I'm not sure where we're going. I have to ask my wife. I'm still trying to work out passport details and try and get that straight so I can go. So I know I need a passport. So if that helps you in any way, probably not going to Seattle if I need a passport. That's my logic anyway. Ross says, do you find that listening to recorded conversations or a book whilst driving is distracting? And she says, I do. You know, I would say yes to a certain extent, but no. I really, I don't know. I really try to be a safe driver as much as possible. And I find myself having to go back once I've met my destination. Like if I'm going to work, I'll have to re-listen because I'm paying more attention to the road than I am the article. So I have to kind of re-listen or re-watch. So I do the safer side. And so distracting, yes. So I just have it like in, just playing or whatever. Whereas, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Mine's just the opposite. So I have to re-listen or re-watch. Ross says, I do remember the encyclopedia. There you go. Andrew says, wonder how Lens is going to work with the new picture-in-picture in the Chrome OS. When you say the new picture-in-picture, Andrew, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Is that something they talked about at I.O., or is that just something that you know that's going on? I know it's getting dark. I might have to go inside here in just a little bit. But I'm afraid to go inside because I know I guess my hotspot will work fine inside. I don't know. I never know. I know it works great outside. It's a new thing coming to Chromebooks. Oh, okay. So it's like picture in picture, like you have one thing open and you have another thing right there. So that way, like if you have, like on my phone, it has picture in the Pixel. I can have my maps and I can float it down as a little picture in picture where I can slide that picture wherever I want. I guess that's kind of what you're talking about there. Worth the try inside. Mine works when hot spotting. All right. I'm going to try and bring it in so you can kind of see me because I know it's dark here. It's like 8:30 at night. So you're going to get dizzy. You're going to get dizzy. I promise. So let me make my move. Let me see. I'm going to put my pen up here. I don't lose it. You guys, tell me if it gets worse when I do go inside because I want to know that too. Nope, I'm closing my eyes. Good for you, Andrew. That's smart. All right, let's see. Whoa, my goodness. Whoa. Now you'll have to listen to my dogs. All right, in through the kitchen. Oops. I wonder, I can't turn my camera off, can I? I wonder if I can turn my camera off. I can't. All right, hold on, let's see. Pixeling, yes, I'm sure it is. And let me go to, all right, let's try this. Let's see how this does. All right, set my phone down. I'll stop moving around. There we go. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Good. Mr. Asby says, on my home network now and no buffering, coming through clear now that you've stopped moving around. Good, good. Ross says, really clear. That is very good, Tom says. Good. Excellent, Mr. Asby says. Well, good. All right, gang. Well, looks great, Arthur says. Good. Well, it's different anyway. I mean, it's a different way to stream. It's a little different show this week. Had to do it a little differently just with the situation. I'm going to put a Zoom link in the community. So anybody that wants to come in the community afterward any member, feel free to come in the community. I'll have the link there and we can chat a little bit. We can talk some more if anybody wants to talk some more. I'm open to it because this thing, I can't believe it still has a charge. This Pixel book is so cool. I mean, it's got 88%. So we can still chat, or we can end it here if you want to talk some more. I think we had a pretty cool talk. Those members this weekend, this Saturday, I will be doing a workshop for the community. So anybody who wants to join the community, it's $10 a month. Okay, $10 a month for the community. You can come in, you can learn a little bit. We do workshops once a month. We have, we have an after party after the shows. No, that's fine. I understand, Ross. You won't be able to join after. I want to start a Zoom and get a meeting going for all of the members, so that way I can see how long this Pixel Book lasts and how long the Hotspot lasts. I want to see how those all work and how my battery does charging my phone. So all that. So I'm gonna do it just for some testing. So I'm sure some people will come in with me in the community. But as I was mentioning, come in the community. I hope the community is valued to you, because the workshops, giving you a workshop to learn a little bit about different products. We dig in and it's interactive. You do it, I do it, we all do it, however we do it, or if Heather's doing the workshop, whatever. It's kind of cool. Workshop topic, Lolan asked. You know what? I'm not real sure yet, but the community will know. I got a couple things that I'm thinking about doing, but I want to make sure that I'll let you know. The community will know by tomorrow. How's that? But I don't want to give you too much. It's going to be a surprise. No, it's not a surprise. I'm just kidding. And Ross says, and I think they are at a good time for me here. Good. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because it is a different time. I do know that. Andrew says, using the camera thing, you can't screen share, right? Using the camera. No. Like right now, there's no way for me to screen share. I don't think. I don't know what this little arrow is down here. I have end stream. I can mute. I just muted, but I don't know what this little arrow is. So I'll hit the arrow. If it ends this thing, then we'll know. Oh, no. Oh, that's to share. Okay, so I can copy the link to this event and send it out to people. I can send it out to Facebook, Google Plus, etc. Okay, that's what that little arrow is. I can add an emoji. There you go. I just added an emoji. That was on screen. That was very helpful and needed. No, I'm just kidding. And then at the top it says live and how long you've been live, and it has number of people. Like I have 7 people right now watching. I have 3 thumbs up. I can get more thumbs up. Come on, folks. No, I'm just kidding. That's it. That's all I have on screen. It's very basic, very limited, but I think it's why it gives it a pretty decent. Think about this. I'm using the Pixel Book camera that's in here, which I think is pretty good. I don't know. On my end, it shows great. And you guys, 3 or 4 of you have said that the sound is really good, which I think is really most important is the sound. So, oh yeah, now I see 7 thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I don't know. I'm very impressed with this. I really am. I'm very, very impressed with this. I like the way this turned out. It was kind of a different way to do the show, kind of showing you what you can do is just go live now. You can do it with a hotspot. That says a lot. If you think about technology and where we've come with that and what that has done in having a decent, like I said, this is decent. Have a decent showing. I think that's awesome. This is really exciting. This is neat stuff. I'm glad I did this because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I thought about actually doing it from my phone, but then I was like, okay, I got to hold my phone. And even right now, sitting in my lap here, I better put this down to make it so it's not bouncy so much. There we go. Yeah, I agree with you, Andrew. He says the best demo of the camera live event I've seen. I agree. I mean, it really has turned out cool. I mean, just go live and you're on. It's really kind of neat. I might do these more often, especially if I have something that I want to bring up or talk about. I think it's kind of neat. Can you do a speed test on your Pixelbook? Sure. A speed test is done on the internet, so I'm sure it'll do a speed test. Haven't tried it, but and Miss Drasby says, I'm participating from my Pixel 2 phone. That is so cool too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is such great technology. And I saw your note earlier, Miss Drasby, you said sound and video is good. There you go. I mean, I don't know. I just think that's pretty awesome. Ross says, 10 months ago, I only had Hotspot to work with internet. Then I got a mobile broadband. It's a touch better. There you go. So, yeah, it's really good stuff. I'm very impressed with this Pixelbook. I love the pen. I love the tools that you can do. The thing, Assistant built right in. There's a little button on the side of the pen. You press it. It starts up Assistant. You can circle something on your screen, and boom, it'll show you about that, give you Assistant about that thing. Kind of like Lens, really. I mean, it's really kind of like Lens, so it's really kind of cool. Tom says, just curious how much bandwidth you are using. Yeah, I'll do a speed test. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Doing these kind of things. I will do a speed test right now. And I think it's speedtest.net is the one to do, I believe. For Spectrum, it is for me, I think, because that's who I use, Spectrum. So let's see. It's coming up. We got a 28 ping, which is not too bad, I would say. I'd say that's pretty decent. I don't know. Now, I guarantee you my upload probably won't be that great, but maybe it will. I don't know. Download is normally 20. It's about 6.53, which that's really low. So download is really slow. Upload, which is normally for me somewhere around 5, usually, and it's 5.22. So if that tells you anything, that's actually from a hotspot. That's pretty strong. I have to say that's pretty strong. Speed of me is also good. Okay, good. I'll try that one maybe. I don't know where to look for how much bandwidth at Michael Daniels. Tom says that is good, and Tom says I agree. Yeah, and I don't know where to look for how much bandwidth. Basically, when you do a speed test, it'll tell you how much upload and how much download you have. That's basically what he's talking about when he says the bandwidth. What he was looking for, what he was curious about. Yeah. So that's within the speed test. Yes, it is. Absolutely, Ross. It is, for sure. Doesn't seem like much of a delay on this camera on the. I don't know if you guys have to tell me because you guys watch the regular show, but it seems like your answers are coming pretty quick back to me, or the responses from when I give you something seem to be quicker than a normal. And that might just be me, a normal show that I do where I'm answering questions, but I don't always answer questions right away. Where here it's interactive and I've been answering. Yeah. Oh, got a little friend there. Got a little friend coming to get in the video. No lag really compared to previous shows about the year ago or old HOA days. Yeah, I got you. Sounds good. And Loan says, yes, it does seem that response is quicker. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it does anyway. I don't know if it's a little different. My son, it's funny. Steven says out there, he says, I see Evie in the background. Yep, there's my granddaughter, and over there's my son that's in the Army. So I got people here. 129 down, Andrew says, and 13 up. Yeah, you're just showing off now. I don't get a picture. Just my daughter. That's right. Hey, that's all that matters, Stephen. That's all that matters. That's funny. That's hilarious. I'm just kidding. You know that, son. Oh, yeah. You got plenty of pictures. I better go pull some out real quick. No. No, I'm very excited. Thank you, everybody. It's been 45 minutes. I think I'm going to end it. I want to get into a Zoom because I want to test some of this stuff to see a Zoom meeting. Anybody that's in the community, I will post this. I'll start a Zoom and put the link for after party. I have on yet, but I've got a couple people in the works. Be sure to look out for that. Tinkering with Tech is the new name instead of H&M. Please come watch, enjoy. I thought that was awesome to have 7 people in here tonight. I thought that was great. Thank you, folks. Mostly community members. I appreciate that. Look, thank you very much, Lolan, for that. That's very kind of you to say. She likes the new logo. Thank you again. And hey, listen, even when the internet goes out, that doesn't stop us from having our Tinkering with Tech show. So thank you, folks, for coming. I will chat with you soon in the community. For everyone else, please leave comments down below. Ask questions. I'll add a description later. Some of the things we talked about. I might even take the timestamps from this and timestamp it out when we talked about certain things. Like we talked about the battery, backup battery. We talked about lens. We talked about a pixel a little bit. We talked about different things. So I might put all that in there. Thank you again, folks, and I will see you over in the community. Have a good night. Bye. End.